Good morning, students. In the previous class, we learnt about Amanda poem. Now, let us know about few poetic devices which made the poem really very beautiful and interesting. Okay, so Amanda poetic devices. First, we have to go with the rhyming scheme. See here, don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't see. Look here. The last word, Amanda, straight and Amanda. Amanda word is repeated there in straight. I have written here phonetic script and we have to take the last one and name it A. I think you know that. Yeah? Amanda, A sound. In phonetic script, this is A sound and straight, T sound, B and A sound, A. And now next one which is in brackets, C. This is E. So A, B over. Now next one, this syllable we are coming for the first time. So it is C. Me, same, C. Blissfully, same, C. So on the whole, the rhyming scheme for this entire stanza is A, B, B, A, C, C, C. Okay. Now I want you to go through that entire poem and see whether the poet has followed A, B, A, C, C rhyming scheme. Okay, you have to look at only the last one, you know that. So if you don't know this script, you can see the dictionary and then write that. Next, alliteration. Alliteration is nothing but the same consonant sounds that came very close in a line. Now, to know what is alliteration, the best thing is tongue twisters. Now, look here. She sells seashells on the seashore. This is the well-known tongue twister, but the only difference here is she. This is not sir sound, sh sound. Sells, sir sound. Sea, sir sound. Shell, sh sound. Shore, sh sound. So, these sh and sir both are different sounds. And then round, rugged, rocks, rat, rascal, ram, r sound. Okay, so alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds. Now in the poem, if you look at the first stanza and third line, stop that slouching and sit up straight. Sir sound is repeated here. And then in sixth stanza, second line, life in a tower is tranquil and rare. Tower, tranquil, t sound. And in last stanza, first line, stop that sulking at once, Amanda. Stop sulking, sir sound. So this is the poetic device which is called as alliteration, and I think you know that. Next one, repetition. One word or a phrase is repeated in the poem frequently to bring the rhyming effect and rhythm and all that. So in this poem, Amanda is repeated very frequently. In this repetition, there is one more thing called as anaphora, which you already read. That means the lines or the phrases which are repeated in the first continuous lines, maybe first and second, maybe third and fourth, maybe fifth and sixth. Anyway, two lines consecutively, when the same words or phrases are repeated, that is called as anaphora. Here, don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hush your shoulders, Amanda. So, don't is repeated in first two lines. And then in third stanza, again first two lines, did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your room? Again, did you is repeated here. That is called as anaphora. Next comes metaphor. See, this metaphor is nothing but comparing two things which have same quality. Taking two things which are not similar, but there may be only one quality which is similar, taking those things and comparing, and without using the words like as and like. For example, her words were a knife in his heart. That means here the words are compared to the knife. That means he got hurt when you poke with the knife. In the same way, her words hurt him a lot. That's the meaning of that. So the words are compared to the knife without using as or like. Again, in the poem, there is a line with emerald sea. Emerald is, the sea is compared to the color of emerald, which is green in color. So he wanted to tell that she is there in that relaxed sea, which is green in color. So emerald, the color we are taking to tell that the sea is in green color. Again, if you go with that fourth stanza, last line, the silence is golden and the freedom is sweet. So in this line, the silence is compared to the gold, which is very precious. And then the freedom is compared to the sweet, which is really very pleasant for us. We really love to eat that sweet. So freedom is the one which we love, just like a sweet. And silence is as precious as gold, to tell that the poet has used here. So this is metaphor. Next, allusion. Allusion is a figure of speech where the poet brings the character from some other story and gives a place here in this poem. Okay, so that is called as allusion. So allusion is a figure of speech that refers to a well-known story or a poem or any character in that event. So the mermaid drifting blissfully. Mermaid is not the character in this story, but brought from something else and brought here, mermaid. And then next one, the Rapunzel. Some other story character is brought here. So that is called as allusion. Okay. Next one, imagery. Imagery means that the words and phrases are used to trigger us in any sense organs like sight, hear, touch, taste and smell, anything. So what is used here? Drift blissfully. So you can imagine a mermaid drifting blissfully, very happily on the green emerald, the sea which is green in color, just like emerald. Okay, and now I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. You can imagine the girl making patterns on the sand. Next, these two are a little bit same, assonance and consonance. Assonance means the vowel sounds are repeated in the poem in one line, like don't hush your shoulders, do, o, your, o, shoulders, o. So that o sound is repeated here. Again, I thought, I told you to clean your shoes. Again o sound, thought, told, you, to, shoes. O sound is repeated. And in this next line, will you please look at me when I am speaking to you? Here, E sound and O sound are repeated. Will, please, me, speaking. Again O sound, you, and you, look. So, O sound and E sound are repeated. That is vowel sound. Assonance means vowel sounds are repeated. Whereas consonance means the consonant sound is repeated. Like, I am Rapunzel, I have not a care. Life is in a tower is tranquil and rare, and I certainly never let down my bright hair. So here R sound is repeated. Rapunzel, care, R sound, and then tower, R sound, and tranquil, R sound, rare, R sound, never, R sound, bright, R sound, hair, R sound. So here in alliteration you find that ter sound in the beginning of the word, whereas in consonants the consonant sound can be anywhere in the word. When you are reading that, that sound will continuously come to us. That will be repeated. Okay, before we go that, just one more important thing. Yeah, look here. These are, if you look at this poem, first one is there and second one is in brackets and third one again is not there. So why did the poet keep that in brackets? That is called as parenthesis. So parenthesis means the poet wanted to tell something which is not connected to the poem but something else there. So that means here you are getting separate picture of Amanda, the parent scolding Amanda and telling what is right and what is wrong. In second one, you are getting a separate picture about what Amanda was feeling. So that is kept in brackets. So this kind of thing which are kept in brackets is called as parenthesis. Okay children? Thank you.